Hey, what's going on everyone, this is iReviews back with another video, and iOS 18.2 Beta 3 has just recently been released, one of the last betas of iOS 18.2 before of course we moved to the RC version and then the final release to the public of the new iOS 18.2, and we have a date when it will actually be released, so we're going to talk about that further in this video. First of all, let's take a look at some of the things here that we need to know regarding the latest update, which is of course the third beta. And as you can see right here, first of all, the size of the update at around 800 to 900 megabytes. That is of course always different on different devices. It will also be different based on which software you're currently updating from to iOS 18.2 Beta 3. If you're on Beta 2, then it should be way smaller, of course, around 800 to 900 megabytes. If you're on iOS 18.1 maybe, or the first beta of 18.2, it should be much bigger in size, but as we're approaching the final release, these updates, of course, are becoming smaller in size, but actually we still have a lot of new features and changes with this update. But before we get into those, let's quickly take a look at the build number of iOS 18.2 Beta 3. So this is the new build number, is 22C5131E. What's really interesting is that it ends with an E, the exact same as the last update of iOS 18.2, which was the second beta. But of course, this indicates that we're getting very close to a final beta before we move to the RC version and then again the public release of iOS 18. But first of all, before we talk about all that, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the new features and changes that we have been able to find on this update. First of all, we're taking a look at messages here. So when you're on an iMessage conversation and you're right here in the field where you type a message, if you request ChatGPT to actually create an image for you, it will create it right here, so you can just send it right away. So it's actually pretty cool. So let's try it out. Ask ChatGPT to create an image of a red car. And as you can see, as it's working, and it will also show you right here the compose section of ChatGPT, which is really awesome. And you will have the result right here. You can just go ahead and send it right away, which is again pretty cool. Now you will have sometimes some text here. The first time I tried it, it didn't have any text, it just showed the image, but you can remove that if you want to, or you can just go ahead and send the image directly from here. Another change here you will notice with ChatGPT on iOS 18.2 Beta 3 is that when you go to the Compose section, we have now a new icon, which basically is the ChatGPT icon with the black and white colors, just like they have it on their app, and not the one that Apple had added before with the Apple Intelligence colors. And what's really cool is that now when you select the text on the notes and you want to create an image, you will see here something has changed. It doesn't say like create an image, it says add to playground. It still does basically the same job, but it now says add to playground. So if you see that, just know that it's basically the same thing as before, which is now basically changed to a new word. Now what I really like about iOS 18.2 Beta 3 is that when now you select the text, whether that be on the notes or anywhere else, you will see of course this menu that pops up, and you will have the writing tools right there on the first page. Previously had to swipe on the second or the third page in order to get to the writing tools. Now you will have them right there, just where you have the copy and paste buttons. You will also have the writing tools, which is very useful and will save you a ton of time. Now there have been some changes on the Photos app as well. First of all, this right here, we no longer have the X button, we have a back button right there, and now the title or anything right here that says the date, maybe on some albums of the album, will be centered right here. So again, we have the select button, the three dots right there, we have in the middle right there the title, and then we have the back button right here on the left, which is, in my opinion, is a great change. Also, we have some changes here. When you go to videos, you can see if I play a video here, it goes to the full screen. When I go back, it will just lay over the photos and the videos right here at the bottom, and also the controls, so it won't actually shrink the video, which previously was the case where it would just like make the video smaller. The same goes here for photos. This basically maybe not that good of a change because it will cover some of the photo right here at the bottom, as you can see right there. Some of the photo will be covered, but it looks, in my opinion, much better with the videos. So now both the photos and the videos won't actually zoom out like this, but they will stay on full screen, and all the controls and the other photos and videos will be laid over. And while we're here, if we go to the share sheet, we can notice also there a small change on the airdrop icon. We now have 3 lines instead of 4, which used to be before, and the dot, of course, in the middle. That's a small change that probably many people won't even notice. And this right here on the Apple Music app, if you go to an album that has multiple discs, now you will see the titles right there. So disc 1 and disc 2 in this case. So whenever you're using the Apple Music app, you will now see the different discs. And now let's talk about performance. As you can see right here, the score is again great with the third beta, and I will probably get even a better score in a couple of days here. And this is the first Geekbench test that I did on the third beta of iOS 18.2. As you can see right there at 2,951 on the single core score, while we have a multi-core score of 7,363, which is actually amazing. And of course, as I said, even in my previous videos, iOS 18.2 and iOS 18 in general does perform really good, even using the betas. I've been using the beta since June on my device, every beta of iOS 18, and it has been quite stable. Now, before we talk about the release dates, let's quickly take a look here at the battery. So right here we have some charts for the past few days. 125% battery life here, 9 hours 28 minutes. Here we have 120% or 115%, 10 hours right there, and then again 115%, 9 hours 57 minutes. So these are the last few days that we have been using this device with iOS 18.2 beta. Again, great performance, and the battery is actually quite solid. Keep in mind, again, this battery is at 91% battery health. And last but not least, let's talk about the next releases. Well, according to Mark Gurman, iOS 18.2 will be released earlier this year. Usually Apple, when releasing 0.2 updates, it would go maybe towards the middle to the end of December to release it. This year we're expecting iOS 18.2 to come out to the public on the week of December 2nd. That will probably be December 2nd because usually Apple releases these updates, the bigger updates, on a Monday. It might happen here or maybe on the 3rd, but most likely it will be the 2nd. What you can expect next is, of course, the 18th should be the 4th beta, and then the RC version right here on the 25th of November, before again we move on to the public release on the 2nd of December. So that's basically it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Smash that like button if you did. Of course, subscribe for more, and I'll see you on the next one.